Now, robins in particular seem to be the bird that many people see after a loved one's crossing as a sign. My belief is because people understand the robin to be a sign, those in the spirit world will use that bird in particular in order to emphasize the fact they are there, they're coming around their loved ones, and they want them to pay attention. But any bird can be a sign from the afterlife. In fact, if you see a different type of bird, let me know in the comments. Now, I'm a medium with 27 years of experience working as a professional spiritual practitioner, and I've got a story here that will help you understand that signs from the afterlife are very unusual. I was out on a cruise ship in the middle of the ocean. There was no land around. We were not going to land that day. We were just out at sea. I was going to be doing a talk to the holiday makers about the spirit world, mediumship, and the fact that life goes on. I was nervous and I asked the spirit world, please be around me. To my guides, please let me know you're there. I want to do a good job. I want to be an ambassador for you. Can you give me a sign? So I'd put the thought out and then I just let it go. The next thing I know, a robin flies into the cabin and sits on the top of a wardrobe just looking at me.
So it's him saying he's here, he's watching, he's with you, don't worry.
Spirit are with me. They're so close, they're in the cabin with the robin. In the middle of the ocean. I was nowhere near the UK where robins are plentiful. I was in the middle of the sea with no land. It's not just a case of seeing birds everywhere and being delusional and wanting to have wishful thinking that your loved one is around you all the time. No, when people experience signs, there is always an out of the ordinary factor involved. There should not have been a robin there, but there was a robin there. Right at the moment when I was feeling nervous, going out to tell a message about paying attention to the signs because their loved ones are going to be around them, that the afterlife is real and that the love you share goes on. It was so unusual, this sign, that the captain of the ship said he'd never seen anything like it in his whole career. Signs aren't usual, they happen in synchronized ways. Just when you send the thought out, for instance, you may well see something that mirrors what you've asked for. Now, the myth I want to bust is that people ask me, well, if that's the case, if it's a sign from the afterlife, does that mean that my loved one's soul is now in the bird? Because the birds they're seeing is behaving in a way that seems very unusual to them. Oftentimes the bird becomes really bold. It actually enters into their house rather than staying outside where it belongs. It may cock its head to one side and just stare at them for ages. No, the soul of your loved one is not in the bird. Your loved one's soul is in the spirit world, but they put their point of attention, their consciousness on the bird. And in that way, they can inspire or influence the bird to behave in a certain way. Just like in the spirit world, they can connect with the mind of a medium, influence and inspire the medium's mind to give information or a message. Birds have always been known as that connection between the two worlds, right across cultures across the world, right back in time. Your loved one, knowing that you need a sign from them, comes around you. They spot a robin and then influence the robin by sending their thoughts, their consciousness to that robin. We could say that the robin becomes under the control of the spirit person for that minute, and then the robin or the bird will come over, do whatever it's going to do, sit on you, land on your finger, sing, whatever the bird does that you know is unusual, and you just have that feeling of, I know you're here. I know you're here, and I know that you've just given me that sign. And then what do? You think of your loved one, and your thoughts then go out to your loved one. You send your love, they receive that love. And if you understand this and get quiet, you will also feel the love that they can then send back to you. Pay attention to the signs. The universe is trying to show you there is much, much more to life than you know.